Welcome again to our toxic company, and this is another episode. And right now we are in Delhi, and we just attended Youth Ki Awaaz for last 2 days. So
So, Youth Ki Hours is an online magazine, and each year they hold this summit in Delhi. Previously, it used to be called Edge, and this time they are calling it Youth Ki Hours Summit. Very interesting lineup of speakers, diverse topics on which they spoke. We heard a lot about the kind of human rights violations that are happening all across the country, and what are some of the things that are being done by young change makers. The audience was also a very young crowd.
very
Quite
young, like diverse crowd, you can say. They came from all the parts of the city, all the parts of the country.
Actually all the parts of country,
Yeah.
yeah.
From Manipur, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, maybe all the states, Kerala, even after having floods and also people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu.
There were
Yeah.
politicians also who were speakers. So Dr. Shashi Tharoor was there. Dr. Other political leaders were also there from various parties. There are very interesting debates that were happening. One of the key things that came up during these 2 days is how important it has become now for the youth in India to be engaging in politics. As per statistics, right now in politics, less than 13% are below the age of 40. And this is interesting because in India, uh, the, the percentage of people who are below the age of 35 is almost 60%.
Yes. Uh, when the parliament started, I'll give you a hint. In 1947, when the parliament first time the India became freedom, the freedom independent happened, and then slowly what happened at that time, there was around 40%, not even 40%. I think 60% of the entire parliament was below the age of 40.
Mm.
Yeah. Then slowly, right now, after covering 72 years of independence, we're celebrating this time. So, the last 70 years, if I take it down, that 60% has degraded to 30% of the entire seat. So, there are around 356 seats.
Yeah.
Around 356, including other special and everything. So, out of the
In
13%,
Rajya Sabha you're talking about?
and Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha.
Lok Sabha the seats are more.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, the percentage of youth in India, it seems a very minute percentage of that is participating in politics. And we wondered why that is.
Exactly.
One of the reasons can be that in our families, many times parents tell us that, okay, politics is bad, it doesn't get you anywhere, and you should concentrate on your studies. It is also there that we have a very bad image about politics, right? When we think about politics, we think of violence. When we think about politics, we think of something that is not relevant to our lives. So, in this summit, on day one, there was a very interesting panel on sexual and reproductive health rights.
Yes,
And
that
in the-
was a very important discussion
Yeah.
we had.
And in the beginning of the panel, by a show of hands, almost 75% of the young attendees said that they didn't believe that sexual and reproductive health rights had anything to do with their daily lives. By the end of the panel, however, the consensus had changed.
Yes.
So it seems that many times we don't even realize where politics intersects in our daily lives until it is actually pointed out to us. So that's why we wanted to talk about this today.
And most important is politics. Is don't if you want to do politics, if you want to get into politics, how is the process? The very first process is coming out and go to the electoral vote and vote.
And there are three
That's the
votes
first
that
process.
happen, right? It's not just the vote that gets your PM elected. There are also votes in the panchayat areas. There are also votes if you live in a municipality area. A vote happens there also.
Yeah,
And
where you
that
select
is
your councillor, local
equally
councillor.
important.
Then there's a Vidhan Sabha vote, that is the state assembly election.
Yes.
Then there is the prime minister vote, that is the Lok Sabha elections. So basically, we are ready for 3 elections.
Yes.
So if you start, if you are young, it's like you're just 18, just got your voter ID card, or if you're not 18 also, you have not voted yet, but it's time to vote, because if you vote, then only the process of elections, then you come to the section where you're politically active, you know the future, you know whom to elect and what to elect and why to elect someone
Yes.
is the basic question. Now, why to elect? The candidates entire thing is there on the before the election commission starts. They submit their affidavit that they have got this amount of property, this amount of criminal records are there. There is no criminal records. Everything will
What
be
are
there.
their educational qualification? Even that you can get to know.
Yeah.
And all of that due diligence is very important. In India, with such a huge population, and of that huge population, 60% being young, we really have a lot of power in our hands that we are not utilizing as of yet.
Yes.
My vote is actually my decision making power, my power to ensure that the things that are done in my area, in my constituency, in my country happens with my decision making also.
Yes. The very simple thing is if you first time voter, if you are going for municipal election, you get to know your councillors, who are representing in your local area. There is a development of your local area, maintenance of park and everything, roads and vagera. You'll get support, you can get contact with them, any emergencies you can get in touch. So first person is a very close person, that is our councillors. Councillors you can get like in each and every small blocks, each and every small para, there are councillors. Those councillors constitute the municipality. So the person you get voting, for young people, that what happens is that every time someone comes to vote, like they are confused whom to vote. Who is the best person? Maybe you're affiliated with some political party that is completely different. Okay, but if you're planning, like for us, we don't have any opinion. We always elect someone who is better accessible, better to get to that person, and you can talk with that person, and if you have any problem they can solve it. That is the person you first elect. Now you can, how do you judge?
And you want to elect people who fight for causes that are important to you, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't want to elect someone who does not listen to what your problems are.
Exactly. So first you want to elect someone who is knowledgeable, who has a good background, who has a good communication skill and also communicate, and also take the feedback of the local people, and those feedbacks then he or she forward it, like feedback to forward it, and then he changes and work on those feedbacks. That is the person, is the right person to elect. That might be any political party. That's not the problem. We are not saying any particular political party you go and vote. It can be any political party whom you can access.
Yes. But remember, voting is only the first step. It's not only our responsibility to vote, but it's also our duty to vote. The second part, if you want to participate in politics, you want to make a difference in your community, there are 1001 issues that we talk about, right? That this is not going well, that is not going well. We also have certain ideas around solutions.
Exactly.
Let us bring those solutions to those policymakers who are in charge of doing that work.
Exactly.
That can be done through so many mediums. You can write, you can talk, you can write a letter to the policymaker, whoever is going to be responsible for doing that work.
Exactly.
You can register yourself with any organization that's fighting for a cause. You can also, if you so are interested, you can go and join a party. You can go and join political institutions also, which are not only political parties, right? The steps to participating in politics, the steps to participate in decision making for our country, there are multiple platforms. We just have to take advantage of those platforms. We need to make sure that our voices are heard, that solutions get proposed when we are talking about the problems in our country. And during the last 2 days, there were quite a few solutions that came up during the discussions, and more than solutions, the thing that happened is, by this talking among people, when policymakers, MPs, MLAs came and spoke to the young people, a connect developed, and that connect is very important in making India a better place to be at.
Yeah, and Youth Ki Awaaz did that platform, created that platform for youths to participate and talk and really give out real info to the people and give the platform to connect with the MPs and really big shots people out here, and we get to know their opinion. And there was a question answer sessions. We asked lots of questions, and lots of questions was raised. They answered those, and it was not about political, but it was the process of policy making. What are the
Yes.
policies? How to develop better policies? Which policies to work on? All these things came up, and the majority that came up this time is a big issues right now.
Yeah.
The one big issues that we are going to talk about right now, using this social media, I'm not criticizing the social media, but utilizing this social media to make people much more aware of the fact, is the media is doing the right thing? Is the media in the correct path? Is the media houses are like the fourth pillar? Is it the big question coming up? Is it the big question is that, is media playing the role what it is to be
Supposed to
be? Is they are doing that? Are they maintaining the media ethics, the journalistic ethics we do, not clinging to any side, uh, just going on telling what the nation really wants to know,
Oh,
not
yes.
not just shouting out, make noise at 9 p.m. It's just being the real fact, stating the real fact, and getting a solution. Not to judge, but to find out solutions and keep up the solutions to the people and masses, and connect with the platforms, with the MPs and MLAs that comes on the talk shows, to give them the feedback what media is, what the people are thinking, because the media is a mirror of the society, and they get the news, they put up the topics, they create the agenda. They just set proper agendas, not just some shout out loud shows where people are screaming on each other. It's just better the policy making part, where better decision making should be done. This is part the questions that came up, and the best I think the solution was to set the factory reset button again on the fourth pillar of the
Yes.
Indian Constitution. That of a particular democracy, and a proper democracy to work, media plays a vital role in it, and social media is there to get your voices and opinion out. Of course, the opinion again. Lots of people are saying that opinion. If I provide any opinion, the state might come hard on you. There's lots of issues are going on right now. Lots of hashtags are going on these days. Keeping those things apart from our videos, keeping those things apart from our talking, keeping the media as a neutral being, not a judge. Media is not the Supreme Court. The judiciary is different.
Media's work is to bring up the voice of the people, is to bring up what is happening in our system. So there are three pillars of democracy, right? The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Media is the fourth pillar. Media is supposed to keep all these three pillars in check by being the voice of the people.
Exactly.
Not paid media, not media that is picking and choosing what news to bring to you.
Yeah. What to feed to you? What the like media is right now? What is like is going on? What is they're thinking? They are setting the agenda. They are feeding you the news. The way is right now is like from a particular political source or a political party they are backing up, or being the spokesperson of a particular political party, you can say. The agendas are like these days are setting in a very bad way. So it's better. It's the media's responsibility to keep a check whether the legislative unit of the government is working properly or not, whether the executive committee is working or not, whether the judiciary is
Doing its job or
doing its job or not. It's not the media's role to judge, it's media's role to questions, pick out and criticize the flaws of these three units and put it up on the mass platform, on the mass media platform, to make people aware that look, this particular unit is not working properly. It's not to judge you. They are not the Supreme Court or the
Yeah, it's not holding a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
It's not doing a trial by media, but informing what is happening.
exactly
And
informing
if the media is not doing its job, then it is up to us, the consumers, to set it right, to hit that factory reset button.
exactly just if the media is not doing the right job, then who is doing the right job? Because media is biased, somebody is in power, on behalf of their power they're talking, somebody is not in power, then the anti government things are coming up. there are two types of news. One is for the government, one is against the government. What is the right news is not to be biased on both the sides, not to be biased. It's just simple stating the facts and the truth of the entire of the particular event or the particular story, and setting it fact on the board to the masses. Look, this has been done, and who is responsible is the main fact to be portrayed. So for being a first time electorate, first time going to do by voting, it's better to know the person whether it's right or wrong. You can get that information from the election commission or website of your particular constituency, assembly, block, whatever you get, and then you judge. You are the factor to judge, not the media, who is already feeding you with political biasness for this party or that party. It's better, it's your opinion to decide, it's your factor to decide whom to vote. Then
Absolutely.
I think then you come to the political process and start getting a better India. Not to depend on the media that is coming on the social media platform, not to depend on the media that is featuring articles or telling on 9 p.m. shows or 8 p.m. shows or whatever. Just go on. Real nations want to know, the real people of this country wants to know the fact. Then you have to search the facts and get it. You can get the facts that is printed on the material, but to know it better, you have the Digital Indias there. After being big companies coming into the media internet sections, the people are talking, so you can get the access of the information that you want to know whether the person you're electing is right or wrong. Don't go by the media feeding you biased news. So best is you judge, you decide, and vote. That is the first part of coming to your political awareness and
Yeah.
politically active. And it is also truth that whenever you cast the vote, then you get to criticize that what the government is doing. Without your vote, I don't think you get the right to criticize the government, because maybe you voted against the government, which is the power. But if you vote, then you criticize both whether even the opposition, which you have voted, not got enough votes to get into the power, but it's their duty also to keep a check on the party that is in power right now.
And to end with, if the pillars of democracy aren't working in our country, and if they aren't serving the interests of that we are interested in, if they are not picking up the issues that we are interested in, then it is up to the youth to set the record straight, to ensure and make sure that this country goes in the way where we want it to go.
Yeah, and we are setting one agenda today. Just think about it. I know it's good. This video is quite long, but we are setting an agenda. I think all the people, all the media institutes, all the education institutes, all corporates, it's mandatory for each and everyone who is working there to vote. I know on the elections day you are working in Gurgaon, you are working in Bangalore, you are working in somewhere else from your not in your state. You must get on holiday to go back, vote for your local people, vote for the place where your home is, where you stay, where you are electoral, where you are where you can cast your vote. Go back, give your vote, and again come back. It's a mandatory. This thing should be started. I think all the people in schools and in colleges, mainly schools, I don't know, colleges, because you'll be above 18 colleges, then you get to vote. And that time, if you vote it right, then it's a factor that's going to change. Then this 40% might get increased to 60%, and it's time to elect some youth leaders right now in this country to come into the parliament and do some change, do some productive, something for the better of this country. And if you vote, you get to criticize, you get to put your opinion. We always vote, we encourage voters, like people in Bengal who are seeing me right now, all over the country. Voting is very important.
So participate in the political discourse, not just by getting into a political party. There are so many avenues. Find your avenue. Do your duty. Do your part in making this country a better place.
Yeah, and you can get into that through Facebook. You can get your information from Facebook. You can get your information from Google. Get it, and everybody's carrying a smartphone these days. It's easy to get the information right, and do come up to vote. And 2019 election is an important election, and it's going to come very soon, hardly couple of months left for the 2019 elections. So be careful, choose wisely, because it's going to be the next government which is going to be there for next 5 years, and next 5 years again is going to be important for you people, including how petrol prices, GDP, how many jobs are they going to provide, how many new jobs will be created, what are the new avenues, what are the old government did.
It's also going to go beyond that. It's going to come down to our daily lives.
Yes.
It's about prices of the food that we eat. It's also going to be about what we can eat, what we can wear, where we can go for education.
Education,
Politics
everything.
is everywhere. So let's make good decisions. Let's participate. Let's make our voices count.
Sorry.
Remember, it's 60% of India's youth.
And if you really want to get into politics, start getting into politics. We want to see, or rather the entire nation want to see, some young leaders, some youth leaders right up there in the parliament. It's not a bad area, it's not like a career change, it's not anything other, but it is also, you're representing this country, you're doing
Representing your people.
representing your people. That's the main thing. So come and join the politics, come and be a participate in the election procedure, and make people aware. So we'd love to see you on that day, the ink on your finger. So we'll be waiting and watching. We'll be coming up with more videos, how to we'll encourage you to come out from your houses. Don't just sit, relax and have a holiday on that day. Just come out from your houses and vote. So this is the Toxic Company with both of us, Orunov and Pompey. We'll be signing off here today, and we'd like to see you on the voting day. And this Youth Ki Awaaz, what a platform it is. Thank you for getting us there. Thank you for accepting our invite. And there's a huge amount of knowledge that we exchanged each among ourselves, and it was a great connective platform. Thank you for having us, and it was great. So next time we'd like to see that kind of platform again, and we'd like to participate again. So this is the Toxic Company
Signing off.
Okay. Yeah, we got stuck with the mic. Yeah, that always happens. So still, it's time to vote. Think wisely.